Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. I'll go ahead and drop the agenda in the chat.
Eric, would you press record too? Oh, you did. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and drop that. Okay. And I'll leave it open for our co-leads to go ahead and begin with a few opening remarks. I know I see Cesar and Bianca on this call. And yeah, go ahead and I'll pass it to you.
Yeah, it's a big thank you to everyone. I think the outreach is always, very important priority for community members because that's how we hear about the projects and when they're going to get rolled out. So excited to hear the progress and next steps.
I also wanted to echo what Cesar was mentioning, the importance of outreach for these programs that are going to be out there for the community. And I do appreciate all the folks that are coming out in the meetings. I know that it's outside of work hours, and the importance that it is to bring awareness of all the SERP incentives and all the measures that are happening at the moment. So I want to thank that.
All right. I think we're ready to roll. It's so lovely to see you all.
Yep. Let me go ahead and throw one of our interpreters in the interpretation channel.
Thank you.
Having some issues there.
A little housekeeping.
Okay, updates. All right, we should be good to go. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Heather.
Hello, everyone. I was just going to introduce Danny. He's the outreach lead for this community. I'm very happy to be so, and we're all happy to be here and excited to tell you about what we've been up to. And thank you, as Bianca said, thank you for your time here too. We really appreciate it. Let's go.
Okay. Should I share my screen or? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Can everybody see that? All right. So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Danny Gonzalez. I am the outreach lead for the Arvin Lamont Outreach Subcommittee. A lot of the outreach efforts that are being done in Arvin Lamont communities. So we have discussed this in the past, but just a brief overview of some of the traditional methods that we are using to implement outreach activities in the area. Obviously, social media sources is a big tool. We really can't stress enough reaching those populations, particularly in those communities. Is a great way to get the word out there, get our information out there, promote any programs, activities, or upcoming events that we have. And also just share general information with the public. And we can use this in combination with all of these with all of these mediums to highlight, promote, connect with our audience and target groups as well. And so what does that look like? So for the last few weeks, we have been very successful in collaborating with several school sites throughout the Lamont area. I do want to stress, though, that this does not go unnoticed, as the effort to get into these schools has been challenging at times, but nonetheless, we've been successful in getting out there. Staff along in the outreach communications department, along with CSR, have been going out, really being the boots on the ground, connecting with parents, guardians, school staff, and youth during drop-off hours and pickup times at the various school sites. And really, this gives us an opportunity to get that face-to-face connection with the residents of the Lamont area, to share valuable information with them of what resources are available to them, what programs are available to them, so that way we can really emphasize and hone in on increasing the knowledge and the connection to our programs and our services. So I won't read them to you, but you can definitely see that we've definitely been a presence in the community for these last several weeks in various school sites. And it continues. We are having to schedule additional school sites in the community in the coming weeks. So this list does not do it justice. Our teams are working tirelessly to make sure that we are reaching as many parents as possible. Yeah, so moving forward. With that, we also want to emphasize that we are available to do presentations in the community to parents and staff. It does not limit us just to do that school outreach in general, but we are definitely available when possible to go into school, provide presentations to youth, parents, and staff, or just the general community. Education goes a long way, and the more people that we reach, the better our services are able to improve their quality of lives. Along with that, we have recently wanted to emphasize the change in some of our programs that we are offering in regards to our read monitors or getting information out there to the public. As of now, the read monitors are kind of having a challenge in regards to some of the resources that we're able to provide to implement that program in itself, but it's not to say that the program is not available to the public, but it is available to the public. And so what that looks like is making sure that we are sharing that information to the public in regards to what is that air quality level. Often school sites are able to share that information with them within their own displays at various school sites. I do want to go back one step further and kind of just share with you guys what some of the information that we share with the public looks like. And so if I can just 1 second. So when we do the school outreach in the community, we do make a course of effort to provide packets of information, valuable information to the community. And these packets often contain a lot of brochures that cover how to report illegal burning, providing them detailed information as to how do you report a complaint. And it really goes into detail as to what are the means in which the public can access that information, along with a wildfire brochure, how to prepare for it, what impacts it may have upon their health, their quality of life, and what to do in such situations or occur within their community. Another general pamphlet information of the impacts of wildfire smoke. What does that look like? And oftentimes you see that even though we don't have a lot of face-to-face time within that moment of connecting with the audience, parents are able to leave away from that event or that outreach with valuable information to read over at home, share with their relatives, and share with their neighbors. And so, yeah. This is kind of just a general overview of what that looks like. In addition to an opportunity for youth to connect with the Valley Air District and educating the public about general air quality and promoting their artwork within our annual kit calendar contest that we offer.
Hey, Danny, real quick. I see Mario's got his hand up.
Yeah. Mario, you have a question?
Yeah, it's good to know about this information, but my problem is that when you report it, that it's kind of hard to say what area, where it's located. There's no sign saying, this part, area 6, 9, or whatever. It was kind of hard for that young lady that I reported, a fire going on out in the field. And she was having like complications to know where it was at. And I feel that we have to try to figure out a way to know where the areas are at, sections of the area, like that. I think somebody's on the other voice. Anyways, the thing is that we need to figure out how to put some signs in the certain areas where, we could say, oh, it's just this area, or whatever. That's what I wanted to tell you guys. All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. We could definitely take that into consideration, Mario. Any other questions or comments from any other member?
Danny, you're still sharing your screen.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Any other questions or comments? Sandra?
Thank you. I wanted to ask, in the Fuller Acres Hilltop website or their Facebook page, there's been a lot of folks asking about where to report illegal burning. I was wondering if y'all had maybe like fridge magnets that we can give to community members to like have on their fridge. I know me personally, like my parents always had that like really important phone number sheet on the fridge, super easy to access. Would be super helpful if we had that to hand over to community. So just a thought, and if you have it, please send it to us. Thank you.
That's so exciting for you to say that, Sandra. I feel like maybe you already said that because we literally just added, not just like a couple weeks back, we've got that on our docket and we are producing that. Exactly. So fantastic suggestion. And as soon as we've got, we're trying to make them a decent size. I think of the old poison control ones when we were little, and we're trying to do just that kind of shows the area and where to call. Yes. So fantastic. We're on it.
Okay.
Great. Thank you, Sandra. Jesus?
Hi, yeah. What came to mind, and thank you for that presentation, was would it be possible to have like large posters with similar data to be able to put against the fence at schools? So that way when kids are getting dropped off or picked up, parents are able to see that and see where to call to report, burning or know where to find resources.
Yeah.
Yes, Heather. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Danny.
Oh, go ahead, Heather.
I was just thinking, couple things. We struggle, as you can imagine, pretty much any entity in the valley, government or somebody selling something, wants that space, wants that real estate at schools. But we've got definitely really good relationships, and so more than maybe posting it in a poster size, I absolutely think we can work on distributing either our pamphlet or making a specific flyer that sort of acknowledges the issues y'all have in the area, and flyer that at the schools so that it gets home, into the in the backpack or in the peach jar, the various means to connect with families that way. Happy to entertain sort of maybe crafting something specific to the area.
Thanks, Heather. Bianca?
Yes, I wanted to appreciate, I saw Eric and a couple folks from the Air District the week of outreach. I saw them in one of the schools. I passed by randomly, and it showed that there was some actual effort from you guys trying to outreach parents. So I do appreciate it, and I want to thank you. It was a hot day. It was 100+ weather, and you guys were still outside passing out pamphlets, and some of the parents were actually listening, because afterwards I kind of did my own research, actually listening to what you were mentioning. So I did wanted to appreciate the effort that you guys are doing. The outreach is there, and us as community members, we're here to support in wherever we can.
Thank you so much, Bianca. And that goes really without saying that it really is not possible to do that without the support of you guys. If there's any opportunities that you guys see within the community, please let us know, let myself know, or Eric, and we can definitely coordinate to make sure that our presence is still there. The work is only possible with the support and the contribution of the community itself. So we can't really do this without you guys and the community itself. So please don't hesitate to let us know how we can further assist. Arvin, Lamont.
Danny, did you mention, this is Heather again, did you mention the survey?
Oh, I did not. Thank you, Heather. So with that being said, all of our efforts that we're currently implementing and we implement in the future, we really wanted to take an opportunity to determine how successful we are within reaching and educating the public and how we can improve and better serve those residents that we're serving. And so for the last 2 weeks, we have taken the liberty to put together a very kind of general survey as to what this looks like. Are we doing the right work? Is our presence known? Are you guys aware of some of our campaigns? How can we better improve some of the efforts that we're implementing? And so up to date, I believe we've received about 60 different responses throughout the general community in the different areas that we have been out in outreaching. And so with the goal of really kind of just capturing the public's understanding of, are we doing what we're supposed to be doing, and how can we better serve the public? So we will definitely get back to you guys with what that looks like. We can definitely share some of that surveys with you. If you please can continue in sharing that information, that would be highly appreciated.
I have an idea. What if we have it in English and Spanish, right? What if we drop that flyer or that file here, and you guys can grab it and share it? Or maybe we can even print some and send them to you. I guess the point is, it doesn't have to end at just the school outreach. We're collecting it for a few more weeks. There's an incentive, there's a prize to try and incentivize folks to fill it out. So maybe we share that with you right away, and just see if, back to your research, Bianca, if, those folks you chatted with, sort of that informal conversation, this just gives us a little bit more data.
Yeah, thanks, Heather. And again, the more people that fill it out, the better we can better serve and tailor our campaigns, our strategies, because who better to tell us how to connect with you guys than you guys? Diana.
Sí, buenas tardes.
Yes, good afternoon. Just going back, I'm going back a little bit when you were talking about the flyers. I know, I'm sorry, I'm losing her. It is, I'm sorry, I'm losing her.
¿Me escuchan?
Se me hace que se está cortando un poco. Ya, ahora sí.
It's better now.
Okay, gracias.
Thank you.
Sí, decía que me iba a regresar un poco.
I was just saying that I needed to go back to the flyers at schools. That is something good, and I'm very happy for the work that you're doing in the schools. But I think that maybe going to these different agencies, Boys and Girls Clubs, the library, also we have the Human Services, I believe it's in Lamont, and Arvin, I believe they also have other places, family resource centers where they can drop the flyers. Those family resource centers work with the students and the kids, and I tell you, because I worked there for many years, so I think that that would be a really good way to distribute those flyers, because also the schools, we have parents there, but we have many people who don't have any children in the schools anymore, so how they can get that information? So I think those other places is really a good way to have that information. That's my comment that I have about the flyers.
Thank you, Diane. Such a great input. We definitely want to make sure that we are capturing the general population, right? Not just a portion of the population. So we will definitely take that into consideration in reevaluating when we do the outreach. And we have in the past, we have visited some of these sites, but it's not to say that we can't visit them again and share this new updated information, maybe collaborate with them, provide presentations to those. But yeah, we'll definitely take that in consideration moving forward. Thank you. Mario, Elvia, Garcia.
Yeah, could you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I want you guys to send me some flyers. I'll send them out. Okay. All right. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Sure, we sure can, man. Thank you, Mario.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? All right. Well, with that, I will hand it over back to Heather, I believe.
Let's go back to our agenda that Eric so kindly gave me earlier and see where we're at. I think we're switching over to a new discussion, unless there's any more comments on that last topic and the last stuff that we've talked about. It really is rewarding for us to be in the community. I'm glad that you saw us, Bianca. We like it. We like being, able to chit chat with the public and talk to them about what we're doing and be present. We're right on time. 4:30, the residential CERT measure outreach effort included, so the latest that we've been able to really kind of hone in on in the community is that we got that funding for vehicles, for replacing vehicles, and working closely with Valley Clean Air Now to put workshops together. Hopefully some of you have attended, but we wanted to take a few minutes and discuss getting you involved in that, in the replacement, and potentially future concept that we're going to share with you that we might be partnering with Valley Can. I didn't know, Kevin, were you going to kick it off, or are we going to hand it straight to Valley Can? Is somebody going to share for us?
I think we can send it straight over to Valley Can.
Is Veronica?
I think Veronica was planning on sharing.
Oh, I see her. Hi, Veronica.
There she is. Thank you, Veronica.
Hi, good afternoon. So for the outreach, we've had 7 vehicle replacement workshops from June 2024 to present. There has been outreach through online, through flyering. That was not mine. Okay, there has been outreach through social media. There's been a lot of social media engagement. There's been flyering that we've been handing out flyers to businesses, to schools, to restaurants. We have turned out over 550 people. There's 240 families that are currently actively participating. There has been 100 applications already completed, and there's 140 pre-approved. Local involvement includes a couple of restaurants here: La Mina Caters, Vallarta Supermarket, St. Thomas and St. Augustine churches, the Islitas, Uruapan, Carnitas, Uruapan. So there's a lot of local engagement, local community. We are expecting to continue to do outreach on these communities, to do flyering. That helps a lot, to be engaged with people one-on-one who have questions when we hand out a flyer. So we will continue to support the local steering community through the Air District with all up-to-date outreach materials being provided to them.
Veronica, do we have a date for the next one?
For the Arvin?
Yeah. While she's looking that up, I do want to sort of re-emphasize that replace funding, while we have funding left, it's definitely going. And so if you have interested relatives, family members, neighbors, time is of the essence for them to take part. They really should be talking to us soon. So that's the message I want to underscore today as you head out and continue shopping this measure.
Yeah. So the October schedule has not been released yet because we're still waiting on approval. So
Okay.
that's why it's not posted.
Got it. But you expect to have 1 or 2 in October is what we're thinking?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Got it. Are there any questions about Replace, about any of those workshops? Another thought I had, just in the scheme of you guys are our eyes and ears on the ground, we did some summer advertising. I wonder if anybody saw the carteles out at the mercados. We had a few out there in sort of the remote areas. We're trying to hit it from all sides, if you will, from the schools, from, the various places that people congregate. So no questions. Oh, wait, something in the chat. Did I miss something? What was your question, Bianca? Is Valley Can going to give a timeline on the vehicle replacement? I think we could probably distribute the schedule as soon as we have it firmed up from them, maybe an email to the CSC. Is that what you mean?
It looks like this is Kevin Wing. It looks like with her follow-up, she's asking on how long it takes to get approved. Unfortunately, it is a bit of a process. And I don't know off the top of my head how fast we're moving on those. I think we usually say 8 to 10 weeks. Because we have quite a few reviews that need to go through. We are making an effort to prioritize. So I can't say with certainty how long in a given project will take to get through, but I know that the Valley Can team is doing a great job of getting them to us as fast as we can, and we're trying to get them out into contracts, and I'm seeing them come through on the regular. So it's been a pleasure to see these cars come through. I get super excited when I get to send off a $20,000 check. It makes me
wow. Feel. That's gotta feel pretty good.
It does. It's my favorite thing. I'm such a big EV fan that whenever I see a $20,000 check go out, I'm like,
somebody did it. They've made it. Bianca, did you have another question?
Are they giving the timeline to the community members that are applying? I just want to make sure because we did have a community member that did wait a long time to get her application processed. And she was part of the CSC and she let us know that it was taking a while for her to get it approved. Is Valley Can doing their work in that piece of maybe fast tracking that applications that are going in first, or they're just doing it as a first come first serve?
So the applications are coming in as first come, first serve, and we do let all customers, once their application is complete, that we talk to them and let them know that the application is being moved forward to the district for approval. We do let them know that there's a 8 to 10 week wait time.
Then I have another follow-up. Sorry, I know that Valley Can's here, but are they facilitating maybe dealerships that are outside of like the Arvin and Lamont area? I know that they have a dealership in Bakersfield, two dealerships in Bakersfield, one in Shafter. But are they referring them to other outside of like the Kern County area, just in case, to get more options of vehicles that could be replaced by?
It's a good question, Bianca. Thanks. This is Kevin Wing again in the Replace program. Our all of the vouchers will come with a list of every valley-wide dealership we have, and in fact, we have dealerships outside of the valley. And part of our rules include that every dealership has to have an online ability to shop to see what vehicles they have available. So if you're looking for something specific, you can search around and see if it's available at this dealership or that dealership and call around. In addition, the out of the district dealerships are required to offer drop-offs of the vehicle in the valley for the participants. So if somebody is shopping with one of our out of district dealerships, they don't have to drive out of district to pick up the car. They have to get the car will get brought over to them. So we do have, I think, 2 dealerships outside of the district that operate like that, where it's basically a online only purchase process, but the car gets delivered directly to you. So we do talk about the whole network, and we try to make sure everybody's available the whole network wide. And I personally think that's important. I know when I bought my Chevy Bolt, 8 years ago now, I bought it in Fremont because they were the deal that I got. The local Chevy guys were not nice to me, and I was willing to make the drive for $4,000. But the ability to let people shop everywhere, I find that important. It's something that I want all of our applicants to be able to do. If you're not comfortable because there's only 3 people you can talk to, then that's going to be a sour taste that I don't want anybody to have. I want everybody to know they can shop. It can't be anywhere you want because they have to be dealers that are willing to work with us. But anywhere in the valley with a dealership that's able to work with us, anybody can go across to. And I have seen that. We had it might have been a Shafter and it might have been an Arvin Lamont a little while ago, somebody who was working with a Stockton dealership. So it does happen occasionally. And it's a little more work for the applicants, but it's sometimes you find it's worth it for the extra deal and the car that you want, maybe the color that you want. It just depends.
Hi, Kevin. This is Eric. Maybe you could kind of add on the 2 new dealerships that we added. I believe that was this year, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think
we did just recently add like I think it was a Big Valley Ford, or Jim Burke Ford in Bakersfield is brand new. And I think there was a Nissan. No, I'm sorry. They all come so fast. I always have a hard time remembering. But we do grow that list on a regular basis. In fact, tomorrow I have another training with another dealership. Let me go see who's tomorrow's dealership that we're teaching how to do the program. They won't be available right away because we have to get them approved after they do the dealership training. But we're always adding new dealerships. Tomorrow we're meeting with a new dealership called Auto Select, and I don't know where their location is without Googling them, but it's monthly we're talking to new dealerships and doing these trainings. So it's been a nice experience to see this list grow. I had a dealership that we added only like 9 months ago complained to me about we're adding too many dealerships, and it's like, dude, you're one of our most recent. Sorry.
And just to point out, thank you, Eric. He dropped that dealership list in the chat too, if you guys wanted to take a look at it. Veronica, at one point I saw your hand up. Did you have another comment?
No hand up.
Okay. Got it. Bianca, your hand's still up. You have another question?
Yes, I do have a follow-up. I'm so sorry.
No, that's why we're here.
I was wondering, for all the applicants that did apply or have applied through the Valley Can, are you demonstrating this list or showing them another list for the new upcoming subscribe dealerships, or are they just receiving the back list that was in the past so they could get more options and more variety?
Yeah, the voucher is only eligible for 2 months, so they get the current list when the voucher was issued. And the list every time it's updated is also updated online. And I believe that the voucher we send them comes with a link to where they find that update, so they can, if they're shopping around, they can continue to look. We don't want to spam people, and so I don't want to send out to every active voucher every time a single new dealership is added. I think that might be it might be a bit much for our customers. We don't want to be overbearing. And given that nobody should be in more than just a few weeks since they received their voucher, most of the cars that come through, people have been waiting, like we say, 8 weeks. They're looking at our webpage. They already know the dealerships they're going to go with. A lot of people, Veronica can probably speak to this. A lot of the vouchers that I see, they have their deal all set up the first week they have their voucher. I know they've been shopping. They couldn't have gotten to that stage without it. I have a lot of vouchers that are, that I'm we're processing in the check process, and it's like, wow, this one almost has the whole 2 months still. This one must have just gone through. So it's yeah, there are some people who have been in there for a long time, and those guys probably have a very good dialogue. I bet Veronica can talk about a few customers that we've worked with for 4 months at a time when they have trouble shopping, and those guys we've worked with and helped them. I know Veronica helps them find cars sometimes that
Yeah.
are team. And I should shut up so Veronica can talk here.
No. On our side, on Valley Camp side, every time we do have a new dealership that's at it, we do call the customers. We call them, we let them know that we have a new dealership on board. So that way they don't feel like, hey, how come we didn't know, or how come we didn't get the fair chance? So yes, if every time a new dealership is added, we do contact the customers. They won't get another approval letter through the district, but they will get a phone call.
I saw Jesus' hand go up first. You have a question?
Thank you. Yeah, just quickly I quickly wanted to say that I'm very excited to see that over 100 applicants are going through the process. That's incredible. I wanted to ask if there was, because I remember seeing, I imagine we're probably approaching our limit. What's going to be the plan after, for those who are still applying or who are at the beginning of the process? What's the plan for them once the funding's finished?
So our goal will be to have sort of a good feel for when we need to stop accepting applications. So it's tough because we offer $20,000, and a lot of applicants might only get 11,500 because they might end up purchasing a plug-in that's not new. And so it's hard to gauge exactly how much is out there. So we're making a little bit of an effort to keep an eye on what our average is. How many are coming in new, how many are coming in plug-in versus how many are coming in used, and how many are hybrid. And using that as a bit of a gauge. I know that it's going to be guesswork. We won't, so we're trying to kind of trail that down, and hopefully the process won't have anybody with an application who's stuck waiting. That's been our goal for the Valleywide program. We're not currently accepting applications for that reason. The applications that we have in-house, we believe, at our average, we'll expend the funding that was allocated to us. So we're not going to open applications until new funding is allocated at the state level for the district-wide program. That's going to be our goal for this one too, is to basically let people know by telling them we can't accept any more applications when we think we're at that point.
Okay. And do we have a guesstimation of roughly when we're going to reach that point, if things continue on this track?
It's actually not one that I've done yet, so it's a good question, and one that we can I think that other people on my team might know. But we can look into it. Catherine, the other senior on this group, has been the one looking, like her finger's been closer on the pulse of the actual money that's been going out. I've been focusing on other things, so I'll have to coordinate on an answer for that. But we can coordinate with Heather or Stephanie and the CSR team and see if we have an estimate of that later.
Okay, awesome. And then my last question is, do we have a tally of where roughly those who are able to sign up are coming from? Are we seeing more from Arvin, more from Lamont, Wheat Patch, Hilltop, or Fuller Acres? I mean,
That's a good question. We can go back and get that info and see kind of where they're coming from. Yeah. Yeah, we'll take a
Well,
look.
a heat map would be fun, but I shouldn't speak out loud. We have this new mapping technology that's supposed to be very exciting that I don't have access to, and I'm sad that I don't have access to it. So that's me. Sorry.
yeah, thank you.
Good question. Sandra, what's your question or comment?
Thank you. I really hope this makes sense, but I'm under the understanding that when folks get approved for funding, then they can look for a car. I was wondering how it works. Because if that's the case, then if folks get approved for like 12,000, right? Would they then have to get a used car? Were they not qualified for like the entire 20,000 for like a brand new car? I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of where I'm stuck.
I think I understand your question, and it's the case is that if you're in the AB 617 community, if you're in the Arvin Lamont area, and you're approved for $20,000. We don't ever approve anybody for just 12. We don't say, no, you don't get to have new. If you're eligible for the whole thing, and then whether you get the 20 will depend on whether you're getting new, and if you're going to get used, it might be 12. And if you're getting a plug-in, it might be 18 if new, and it might be, or if you're getting a hybrid, it might plug-in hybrid, it might be 18 if new, or 11.5 if used. So nobody gets told you can only have the 12 in the AB 617 communities. Outside of the AB 617 communities, 12 is the limit. So outside of the AB 617 community, you'll have people who might only be receiving the 12. So if you're talking to people who are from Bakersfield, say, who got this program and they only got approved for 12, that's why. But if they're in this community, they got approved for 12, and if they didn't, if they weren't able to purchase new and they needed to get a used one for finance reasons, and again, 12 for the used, it's worth remembering that you will also be eligible for the SoCal Edison or PG&E rebate for an extra 4. So you're really going to get a 16 total on the used for a battery electric. So it's not as big of a difference as it sounds like as we're talking about it here, because the new vehicles aren't actually eligible for the PG&E used vehicle rebate.
So stay unmuted, Kevin. There's a comment from Lucia in the chat. Sort of, you're still touching on it now, but to explain to Lucia, you don't have to choose the all-electric version. That's your choice. You get the most funding for that one, and then it kind of scales back from there. And so that's why Kevin, I think, explained that everybody gets all the way to 20 if they want it. And then as they do their shopping and make their decision on their car, then we adjust it based on their choice, if it was plug-in or the other options, used versus new. But the best option is a brand new EV. That's what'll get you 20,000. You're welcome.
Yes. If you were keeping me on, wanting me to stay on mute so I can say yes.
Yes. Thank you. Sandra, do you have another question?
Yeah, sorry, I had a follow-up. One of the residents that we're working with that lives in the AB 617 boundary, they only got approved for 18,000. And I was confused as to why they didn't get approved for the whole 20,000. And they said that they never really got a reason to why. So I'm wondering, maybe we can chat offline about this too, since it's very specific, but is there a reason why they wouldn't get approved for the entire 20,000?
So if that was at the time when they were actually at the dealership making the purchase, my guess would be because it was a car that had a gas engine in it. It was a plug-in hybrid. It did both gas and electric. So something like a RAV4 or a Prius Prime, or the RAV4 Prime. I think there's some Kia options that are in that same boat, that are like that. So my guess is that they had a $20,000 voucher. They went to the dealership. They picked out a vehicle that also had a gas engine, and they got a new one, and then they only got 18,000, and that was because what they got was not a pure battery electric, but also had an engine.
Okay, just to follow up, this was via email, so they hadn't even started looking at cars yet.
The voucher does have on it like the different amounts. It'll say 20,000 and 18,000, but as far as I know, and Veronica can speak to this, I don't think we have any templates of anything that would say 18,000 without saying 20,000 also. So all of our voucher emails are all out of a stock template, and it'll have a chart on it that says battery electric, and it's got a column for used and a column for new, and so it should have this little array for the whole thing. If they were looking at it on their phone and they were zoomed in a little bit, it might have maybe not the whole thing was visible, and if they scrolled around, they might see the 20,000 on there. But anybody who had 18,000 should have also had 20. It shouldn't be possible. If you have that, if you can find that and you want to, and you're not seeing that, let's talk offline, because it shouldn't be possible. If it's happening, I want to fix it. But it might be a case where it's like it was off the screen and they could see only the 18 because they didn't scroll, as a guess, but I don't know for sure why.
Okay, thank you. I can follow up with them, and then if I can't find the 20,000, I will follow up with you, Kevin. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But truly, Sandra, thank you for bringing situations like that to our attention. I mean, we truly don't know what people are experiencing, or, even if they did miss a line or didn't, we definitely want to be able to work through it and help them. And so I appreciate that you brought that up. Thank you. Something else I really want to chat about, I don't see any current questions, is to give you a little tease on what we think is going to start happening in the way of future mower events. We hope to have one in the spring. And I know you've committed funding to it, and we have plenty. And we had a very successful one in June, but we are looking to partner, yay, with our Valley Can partners to potentially help us orchestrate mower events. Maybe we'll pair it up with some of these vehicle events. We've got lots of time to figure it out, but we're very excited to sort of continue that push in your community. It's quiet. Anybody have any questions, ideas? We have gone through our agenda. No questions? Oh, Mario, what you got? Oh, you give a thumbs up. Thank you, Mario. Appreciate it. Our goal is to get in the PowerPoint earlier, there was an image of one of our air quality displays, and we're really happy that the technology is moving forward, because we started the program to put out the displays 2018, I think. And some of those earlier pieces of equipment that we installed at schools to project the air quality level out to the public, they're starting to get tired. And so the good news for your community, I just wanted to note, is that the one we deployed there is the newer technology, and it is a monitor, and I don't think we'll go anywhere anytime soon. So we are making headway. Mario, I do see that you have your hand up.
Yeah, could you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, because I just still got that little red line on the mic.
Oh,
yeah. Okay, I was gonna ask you, do we have a meeting today at the park? What is it, San Diego?
Yes, I think that, or was that this week? Hold on. The
The
CARB
12th?
meeting, is that what you're talking about?
I think so.
Yeah. Hang tight. Eric, would you help me pull that up? There was, CARB was doing one of their community workshops in your area, and let me pull it up. Give me just a second. It looks like it's tonight at 5:30 to 7:30 in the David Head Community Building, which is where we've all met in person before. It's going to be co-hosted with the Central California Asthma Collaborative. I think we've had them in this space. But it says, by participating in this workshop, you can give your input on what CARB should prioritize as it develops its plan, including environmental justice. Their 5-year strategic plan, they want you to be the community experts, it says. So that is tonight. Thank you for sharing that.
That's a good one.
I encourage you guys to go if you're able to.
I am going.
Okay, awesome. It looks like there's a registration link. I don't know that that necessarily was required. So just, they might want you to sign in when you get there.
All right, thank you.
No, registration is not required. Anyone's welcome to come and join.
There it is. Thank you, Cesar. Okay. That was a good update. Any other feedback for us before we close our meeting? Don't all talk at once. Well, Well, thank you all. We very much appreciate working in your community and the time that you give us and the insight you give us so that we can be successful. So thanks for your time today, and we'll be seeing you soon.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.